Welcome to Theater Crafts, where we take theater memorabilia and we make brand new treasures. So it's been a couple weeks since I've posted. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season. I have lots of really cool crafts that I would like to bring to you here in the new year. So today we're going to do a good one. If you know me, I like pens. And I am going to make today some pens. I'm going to show you how to make pens. Look at that, with fabric and resin. They're really shiny. They're really smooth. You can make it with fabric. This one here I made with music note ribbon, or you could make it with, this one's made with a tie. That tie that belonged to my dad. But how cool would it be if you had a costume that you made for a show that you were in, and you had maybe a little bit of fabric left? You could make a pen to go with that costume, and it would remind you of that show over and over again. I just love these. So here we go. I got lots of pens. They are so special, and I'm going to show you how to make them today. So let's get crafting. Okay, so here we are at the workbench. I'll just show you what I used for these. These are so easy, and I just love the impact of them. Okay, so basically you're going to start with, you need your pens. Oops, sorry. You need your pens. This is what I've used for this particular project. And the reason I like these pens, let's put one out so you can see, is the barrel is pretty straight. All right, so we're looking here at the Papermate Inkjoy gel pens. And if you see here, the barrel is pretty straight. You're obviously going to take the tip off. But as a result, it makes it easy to wrap the material around it. So that's why I really like these pens. You're going to need some white glue. I just have some craft glue here. I'm putting it on a paper plate just to make it easier. You need your fabric or what you're going to wrap it with. So in this particular case, I have this fabric that I've had in my stash for a while, and I just love it so much, and I haven't found something really special to make it, with it. So I thought, how fun to make these pens, because it's got all different musicals on it. So you've got that. Or you could use any fabric that you have from, like a costume fabric that was used to make a costume, or some costume piece that is no longer usable. I have one, and I'll show you later. Oh, actually, I got it right here. This one I made with an old tie. And that's, how special is that? This tie actually belonged to my father, and I just think that's really cool to be able to use that to make a pen, to remember that. So you could do that with a costume fabric as well. I have a couple of paintbrushes here. I have my resin. So in this particular case, I'm using resin that is cured with the machine here. So it only takes a couple of minutes to cure. You can use, other types of resin, but I found that this one was a little bit easier. And in my case, I'm actually using just a piece of foam to stick the pen in, or the pen in while it's drying. I also am using a pencil. A pencil is basically just to hold the pen while I'm working on it. And that's about it. That's about it. Oh, you want to have some place to put your parts of your pen while you take it apart, and I'll talk about that in a moment. I also used scissors for the presentation. Okay, so I'm going to start with, this is like a template that I made that is approximately the size of this pen, the area of this pen. So you want to take a measurement of your pen. I might have to trim it a little bit, but it's 1 11/16 across by 4 7/8 here. Okay, and so I've cut a piece of my fabric to that size, and you can, like I said, you may have to trim it a little bit, but no worries about that. All right, so let me clear the space, and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing you need is your pen. So I have my pen here, and you're going to take it apart. I've got a little bowl here to put the pieces in so you don't lose them, because I know me, I would lose them. So there's the tip of the pen. There's the actual ink. And the beauty of these pens is you can actually replace the ink if it runs out of ink. So it's not something that, once the ink is empty, you are completely unable to use it. And then you've got the end here. It just got stuck. So you just push it down. And there are two pieces here. So they come apart like that. All right. And I'm just going to put them in my jar and save those for later. Now, there's another piece that I forgot to tell you. You need something to, so you see here, I'm going to take off this clasp. So if you notice on the pens that I made, there's no clasp on it. So I took the clasp off so that I could, make it kind of flat all the way around. Really easy to take off. Literally, you just can grab it and twist it. Comes right off. Look at that. Easy peasy. All right, so now you got these, I don't know if you can see that little nub there. There's another tiny one right, if you can see it, it's right there. And then on the other side, there are these little, look like hearts. That's a little bit raised. So I want to kind of shave those down a little bit. I found, no lie, it's so easy to just do it with a nail file. So I'm just taking a nail file, I'm putting a box underneath it just to collect the shavings. And you can just file it down. You could use a sander as well, but seriously, it's so easy that it kind of would take longer to get out the sander. That's totally fine. And then on the side as well, just kind of, and then I'm just going to rough it up just a little bit, just so that it will take the fabric a little bit easier and the glue. So just literally just roughing it up just a smidge. There we go. That's it. I'm going to just take a little cloth and just wipe that off just so that it's not so dusty. Okay, and then we are ready. That's all you need to do. And we're ready to start putting the fabric on. How easy is that? Okay, so let me just kind of review what we're doing here. So if you remember, I just made it like a little template here, and I cut out my fabric using that template. I actually put it on the reverse side, and I made sure that I liked what the image was on the side that we're going to see on the pen itself. So cut those out, and then I took my pen blank, and basically I'm putting it on a pencil, okay? And that way I'm using that kind of as a way of holding it. And I've already started one here. I kind of missed my footage recording there. So, and basically all I'm doing is I'm adding a good amount of the white glue, it's just regular white glue, to the pen blank, so that this fabric will adhere. So on the bottom here, I'm going to actually make the bottom line up with the part here, because on the top it actually kind of curves around, and we're going to have to play with that a little bit. So I'm just going to hook up the bottom here, all right, and then just lay it kind of flat across, and then I'm going to just kind of smooth it out and go around like this. And you may have to fidget with it a little bit. It's okay. The beauty of it is the white glue doesn't set up quickly. Okay, and then now this is going to overlap. I actually prefer that it overlaps. It's up to you if you want to cut it down a little bit, that's fine. But I'm going to just kind of glue that down so that it adheres. I don't want it to kind of separate and see the pen underneath. So I'm just going to kind of adhere that right down. And then I'm actually going to put glue over the whole top of this. Now, interestingly enough, like when you, if you try this at home, you'll notice that when the glue dries, it actually has quite a bit of stiffness to it. So it no longer feels like fabric. And you could probably leave it like that. I love the shine of the resin, so that's why I add the resin to the top of it. But you could totally leave it with just the fabric, and that would work too. So we're going to totally cover this, and then we're really going to let this dry. So I want to make sure that I get all of those, because fabric, obviously fabric can fray. And so you want to make sure you get all those kind of extra little strings. Make sure that those are kind of glued down. So we got that like that. And then on the top here as well, we want to make sure that's all. See, now notice, if you notice up at the top, it's a little bit long. I'm actually going to kind of separate that and cut it a little bit. Okay. Just a little bit, just a tiny little bit off the top. I probably should have done this before I glued all that down, but right. Yeah, all right. Now I'm going to glue that really solidly down. And this top, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to probably, sorry, I'm off your camera, I'm so sorry. I'm actually going to put my fingers in here just to kind of try to ease that over that curved edge, as I mentioned. We'll do a little bit more of that when it gets to the resin, but I want to make sure that curved edge is covered. You see that, you can see the threads there. I don't know if you can see the threads there. Okay. All right, so that looks pretty good. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that and I'm going to put that right in my, foam there, just to let it sit. And we will let that dry for a good couple of hours and then move on to the next part. Okay, so we have the the pen blank is dry. You can hear it's actually quite hard because of the glue. And look at that. That looks just great already without even adding the resin to it. But look at the difference with the resin. You know, you can really see it. It just has such a professional quality. But if you wanted this kind of matte finish, you could go with that as well. It's totally up to you. But I'm going to show you how to do it with the resin. So I've got my light, my UV light, and I'm using a resin that you don't need to mix. And you can just pour it right on. And if you remember, I have the pencil. And the reason I have the pencil is so that I can just hold it. Normally with resin, if I'm using resin, I use gloves, but my fingers are not going to come anywhere near the resin today. So I don't need to worry about that. And I have a paintbrush that I'm using to spread the resin. So here we go. So I'm going to put, in this particular case, I discovered 3 lines is good for this resin. And you want to work fast because you don't want it to drip. And I'm literally just going to take the brush and start at the bottom and just kind of brush it in long strokes over the pen blank. And you can see already the gorgeous effect that it has. And just long strokes. You want to be careful. You don't want to get it too close to the, inside there, because it could gum it up. And that has happened before, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. So then you're going to turn on your light. Now, I'm actually just putting this underneath the light, and I'm going to just turn the pencil a little bit. And the whole idea for this is that it won't drip. So I'm just going to turn it slowly. And those of you who've used resin before, done, tumblers and things like that, they actually have gadgets that turn it for you. But this is only for 3 minutes, so I think I can do it with my fingers. And so I'm literally just slowly turning it so that the pen blank and the resin can cure. If you notice, my light has 60 seconds and 120 seconds. So obviously I need to do the 3 minutes. So I will do that 3 minutes, and I will come back and show you what it looks like and what we do from there. Okay, so I just finished 3 minutes, and let's see what it looks like. Oh, it's nice. It looks good. Looks good. With the constant turning, I find that it becomes really smooth. You don't get a lot of bumps in it, and obviously that's what we want. We want that really kind of smooth look. So I'm going to add a second coat here. You probably could just get away with this one coat. I'm going to add a second one just because I want to make sure that it's nice and glossy and I don't know, it just looks so professional. I'm loving these so much. Look at that. All those shows. You got Rent, Chorus Line, Sweeney Todd, Avenue Q. Got Spamalot down here. Got lots of cool shows. Again, doing long strokes so that it's going to lay smooth. And again, we're going to do 3 minutes on the light. All right, and I'll come back after 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes is up. Let's see what it looks like. Ooh, it looks good. Looks good. It's nice and smooth. If you have like places where it's there's a little bit of like a rough edge or a drip, you can just go in with a file. It could be the nail file, or it could be a piece of sandpaper, like a fine grit sandpaper, and then put another coat of the resin over it and then cure that, and it should be good. But this looks fantastic. Pencil comes right out, and then we're going to try. Here's the moment of truth. I'm going to see. First, you're going to put the clicker in. Now it goes right in, and let me tell you, if it doesn't, and this happened on one of the pens for me, that I got a little bit of resin inside. What I did is I actually took a pair of scissors. You could do it with a craft knife, but honestly, I was afraid I would like slip and cut myself. So you could take a pair of scissors, because it's graduated in terms of size, and just go in and kind of get some of that excess resin out if that happens. And it worked perfectly. In this particular case, we didn't have that problem. And then you're going to put, this is the base. You're going to put that in there. There's the ink. And then you take the top, and you're going to put the ink, the top right over, screw it in the top there. And then you want to check to make sure that it works perfectly. And there's your finished pen. Isn't that fantastic? Oh gosh, I love these a lot. I just think I love them so much. I keep making them. I just think they're so much fun. And they just look fantastic. So, I encourage you to try making these. And if you do, send pictures. You could use fabric of any kind of fabric. Maybe you have a baby outfit that you want to remember, or like I said, a costume, or any kind of piece of fabric that works for you. Like I said, this one was my dad's tie, which I think is lovely to have that as a way to remember him. Please, if you do this, please send me pictures, and I can't wait to see what you create. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's version of Theater Crafts, and I will see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.